Today we are going to be making a Cajun-style shrimp and scallop mac and cheese. This is super simple to make. All you need are some shrimp, some scallops, some elbow macaroni. I have two different kinds of cheese, pepper jack and sharp cheddar. Cream cheese, half and half. Green onions, lemon juice, unsalted butter, black pepper, a pre-made Cajun seasoning, garlic powder, and regular salt. This is super simple to make, all of this for under $30, and it can feed a family of 5. The first step is going to be to season and prepare our shrimp and scallops. These have already been thawed out, so put the shrimp in, and our scallops. We're going to put a generous amount of salt, so we do not want these to be bland. And then a whole heck of a lot of lemon juice. I would prefer to have actually used real lemons, but our store was out of lemons today, so lemon juice. These are the pre-made Cajun seasoning. I'm going to be very generous with this as well. I love this flavor. It is absolutely amazing, but we want to keep going and do as much as we possibly can to cover these things entirely. And then we have some black pepper. And some garlic powder. And then I've already melted the butter, so we're going to pour that over the top to really help coat this nicely. We don't want to make sure the butter is not too hot to actually start cooking the shrimp. But since shrimp and scallops both take just under a minute, really, on the stovetop to fully cook, we want to make sure we're getting our seasoning in there all together all at once. So we'll stir this all up, and it's going over the frying pan. So now we're going to get the shrimp and scallops into this pan, which is already nice and hot. I do love the sizzle of seafood going into a hot pan. It only takes like a minute and a half, 2 minutes to get those up to temp. Once they're starting to look nice and pink, it's time to take them over to the sink where I've got a colander ready. We're going to drain off the excess liquid because we don't want to have watery and runny mac and cheese. So first thing we're going to do to make our cheese sauce is dice up our blocks of cheese. I don't use shredded cheese because there's a coating on shredded cheese that they use to prevent it from sticking together when it's in the packaging. But that coating actually doesn't allow for the cheese really to melt as well when you're putting it in the pot, and I want to make sure my cheese is evenly melting without burning. Green onions, these aren't going in the pot, but we want to have them ready to go at the end because you do not have time when you are mixing this all together to start dicing up anything. So make sure everything is good to go. So getting the sauce in the pan, we're going to melt a stick of butter, pour in our half and half, and then add in our cream cheese, which we have also diced up. Again, just smaller pieces makes it melt easier. Black pepper, and then a little bit of garlic powder, and either kosher or iodized salt, whichever you prefer. And we are going to want to stir this pretty much consistently for the entire time we're cooking this down. This is not a fast process, unfortunately. I keep my stove at about medium heat, and making the sauce takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Like I said, we're just going to stir this pretty much continuously. Your chunks of cheese are going to take obviously longer than the cream cheese to melt, but we want to keep them moving so that the bottom does not burn. Now you're going to notice on the upper right hand corner I have another pot going. That's got boiling water in it for my noodles. Elbow macaroni only takes about 5 minutes, so as soon as it starts looking like this, where things are mostly melted but not quite all the way done, that's when I drop my noodles, so that when everything is ready to go, my noodles are going to be al dente and perfect and ready to go. Now we have our noodles and our pasta sauce prepared. It is time to add everything together in one big metal mixing bowl. Now you notice it's a little soupy right now. As the sauce cools, it does thicken up quite a bit, so it doesn't look quite as soupy. Lastly, I put in my green onions, give this another stir, and that's all there is to it. This is my Cajun style shrimp and scallop mac and cheese. I hope you try it yourself, and I hope you enjoy.